These agronomists and farmers from Edwa city in the Upper Egyptian Governorate of Minya have teamed up to set up their own greenhouse in Azbat al-Fallah. They're aware that the crops grown here will be of higher value and will last longer than crops grown in the fields, as they will be protected from damaging winds, disease and pests.
الصوبة عشان سهلة في التنفيذ وعندي أرض وعايزة أستغل الأرض دي، وسمعت إن يعني جريت في دراسة جدوى وكده إن الصوبة عائدها الاقتصادي عالي شوية، فقلت بدل ما أسافر وأتعب روحي وأروح وأتغرب وكده أعمل الصوبة هنا في بلد وأستفاد منها يعني.
The idea for setting up the greenhouse came after Yasser and the other farmers attended a HAYAT training workshop. Here, expert agronomists offered farmers and young graduates of agricultural schools technical advice in fertilization, irrigation, pest control management and post-harvesting techniques. The training was part of the HAYAT Human Security Project, a joint initiative by various UN agencies in coordination with the Egyptian government that aims to improve the lives of vulnerable households in Minya.
On the side of the UN, it's UNIDO, which is engaged in the effort, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and we are joining forces with the ILO, with the IOM, with the UN Women, and with UNDP, as well as UN Habitat. So as you can see, it's a group of agencies working together to provide integrated efforts.
After attending the training session, farmers are now, for the first time in Edwa, replicating the greenhouse set up as an exemplary model by HAYAT. Groups of small farmers are gathering resources and even swapping land to apply the model with technical support from the program.
We set up some greenhouses that are low cost, low tech, so very suitable for local conditions, but they are able to increase productivity up to 2 times or even 3 times. And at the same time, they save on pesticides, the use of chemical products, and they also save on consumption of water. So you can have more abundant food produced and also safer food for the local population.
Yes, it is confident the greenhouse will yield higher profits and income for his family.
في ناس كتير عايزة تشاركنا وفي ناس عايزة تخش معانا يعني نعمل شركة مساهمة.
Currently under implementation in 5 target villages in Minya's deprived districts of Edwa and Maghagha, the project aims to empower and protect the poorest residents through a comprehensive, prevention-oriented and people-centered human security approach that will help them overcome the obstacles to development, preserve their dignity, and manage various types of human security threats they're exposed to. In its first year, the project has helped some 500 farmers and SMEs engaged in the agro-industrial sector. The introduction of good agricultural practices has resulted in lowering production costs and increasing profits for the farmers.
What we are trying to do is to increase the productivity of cultivation in Upper Egypt and the added value of products, so that out of those we can create more jobs for the farmers, for the small-scale enterprises.
HAYAT agronomists are busy at work here trying to salvage palm trees that have been attacked by red palm weevils, tiny insects that burrow into palm trunks and devour the trees from within. The experts are explaining to farmers how to identify the infected trees and are injecting the palms with insecticides that rid the trees of the harmful pest. At the end of its first year, HAYAT has made steady progress, and women and youth are among the greatest beneficiaries of project interventions that aim to improve the socio-economic livelihoods of rural families through sustainable job creation and supporting micro-entrepreneurship.
We are focusing especially on the women and on the youth, helping a number of women to save and to use their savings for setting up small-scale enterprises so that they can get an income and contribute to the welfare of their families.
Under the Village Savings and Loan Association model, based on the traditional informal practice of rotating savings, poor and marginalized women are now able to manage their savings and access credit to cover their needs in an easy, profitable and sustainable manner. HAYAT's project interventions are carried out in a way that encourages local communities to determine and express their priority needs and choose their own development initiatives. This opportunity of active community participation is provided through the so-called human security forums that were established by HAYAT in each target village as an interface between local communities and public authorities. Elected forum members represent their villages and local communities and are involved in the selection and monitoring of priority projects funded by HAYAT. For years, this family has had to make do with cane reeds as a ceiling. Now, thanks to HAYAT, they have a safe roof over their heads, which provides better shelter for them and their children, and protects them against various hazards, including the risk of fire. This beneficiary says he used reeds because he was unable to afford a proper roof.
والله أنا في الشتاء طبعا كانت الأوضة دي كنت عاملها كلها جريد، كنت مداريها وكياس من فوق، تصدق والبيت كله كان بيبقى مية. مشروع الحياة ده جا وعقدنا الأوضة اللي بره والمطبخ.
Aisha Goma, a housewife and mother, has recently had water connected to her house. She is relieved she no longer has to make the distant journey to the public tap several times a day to fetch water for drinking, cooking and bathing. I used to go to my neighbors to ask for water or walk a long distance to the public tap several times a day, she says. It was tiring. Aisha's family is one of dozens of households in this impoverished rural community that have had water connected to their homes in recent months under the HAYAT project. Access to clean water has changed her life, saving her both time and energy.
في حوالي 8 مشاريع اتوافق عليها لغايه دلوقتي. الاهتمام بمشاكل المياه الجوفيه اللي هي بتطفح في المساكن في الاسر الفقيره. اسره محتاجه توصيله ميه ب 1200 جنيه، ما معهاش ال 1200 جنيه بتغطيها. في بعض الحاجات برضه في المدارس، مدارس ناقصه تخته، ناقصه سبوره.
Local youth acquire the necessary vocational skills to implement the infrastructure projects which generate employment for them. Government representatives partnering with the UN agencies welcome HAYAT's multifaceted human security initiatives and say the project fits well into the government's development plan.
توجه الدولة متجه إلى تفعيل التنمية الشاملة على المستوى المحلي وخاصة تحفيز التنمية الاقتصادية وذات المردود الاجتماعي اللي بتحقق نوع من العدالة الاجتماعية خاصة بعد الثورة واستهداف الفئات المهمشة ودمجهم في النشاط الاقتصادي وما إلى آخره. ده من ناحية. من ناحية تانية البرنامج أو المشروع بيلتقي برضو مع أجندة توجه الوزارة نحو اللامركزية اللي من تحتها وحدة تطوير الإدارة مع المحلية معنية ببناء قدرات المحليات وتقوية المحافظات وبحيث إن هي تبقى قادرة على إدارة عملية التنمية على المستوى المحلي بشكل أكثر كفاءة والتفاعل مع الأطراف الفاعلة على المستوى المحلي سواء كانت القطاع الخاص المحلي المنظمات المجتمع المدني أو المجتمعات المحلية نفسها.
He hopes the project will be replicated in other deprived governorates.
مركز العدوى ومركز مغاغا معاه نموذج قابل للتكرار والتطبيق في باقي المحافظات.
And the donors, including the United Nations Trust Fund for Human Security, the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, and the government of Japan, hope more will be achieved in the course of the next 2 years in Egypt's long neglected and marginalized southern region.
We hope that through this project we will be able to bring that region and its very poor people onto the agenda and support them with measures that will increase their economic safety, their human security overall, and especially also to improve the cohesion inside the communities.
By the project's completion in 2 years' time, the project management team hopes it will have transformed the lives of some 20,000 beneficiaries in Minya, helping some of Egypt's poorest access better and sustainable economic opportunities. By improving local capacities and strengthening social safety networks, HAYAT will ensure the survival, livelihood and dignity of thousands of vulnerable youth, women and children in the target communities. It will also help build safer and more secure communities where peace, development and human progress can thrive.